Today we'll explore the astonishing story of a woman whose encounter with the afterlife not only shocked her, but profoundly changed her perspective on existence. After a tragic accident, she died and met beings that defied her agnostic beliefs, teaching her profound truths about life, love, and what lies beyond. Subscribe and hit the notification bell to join us as we uncover these incredible stories of hope, love, and the promise of a new beginning. As an agnostic college student, I was preparing to run the Austin 10K, a race I had been training for diligently. On the day of the event, I set off with determination, never anticipating the life-altering experience that lay ahead. On my way to the race, I was involved in a catastrophic head-on collision that would change my perspective on life, death, and spirituality forever. The impact of the collision was devastating. I suffered a broken back in 3 places, with my spine severely compromised. 3 of my vertebrae were completely shattered, and bone fragments pressed against my spinal cord. I was rushed to the emergency room, where I spent 17 agonizing hours awaiting surgery. During that time, I read that I had a 17% chance of survival. Despite this grim statistic, I remained optimistic, telling myself, "I'm young, I'm strong, I was about to run a race, there's no way I'm dying." However, on the operating table, as the surgeons worked to repair my shattered spine, I died. This was the beginning of an extraordinary journey that would challenge everything I believed about existence. As an agnostic, I had always thought that death was the end, that our consciousness would simply cease to exist and our energy would return to nature, perhaps nourishing the grass and trees. But as my spirit lifted out of my body, I was confronted with a reality far beyond my previous understanding. The first sensation I experienced was one of intense clarity and heightened intelligence. My spirit form felt more like the true essence of myself, while my physical body on the operating table seemed merely a shell, a bloody piece of meat that I had used to navigate life. As my spirit hovered above, I could see and understand everything in the room. I observed the surgeons working on my body with a detached fascination, able to perceive and process vast amounts of information simultaneously. In this state, I was not limited by the physical constraints of eyes that look straight ahead. Instead, I could see everything at once. At the foot of my bed, I noticed beings of light. While they resembled angels, I prefer to call them light beings because they were composed entirely of light. These beings exuded an ancient, profound intelligence and a sense of immense beauty. They had human-like faces and shoulder-length curly hair, but their most striking feature was their eyes, which were made of light. These eyes communicated telepathically, sending messages directly into my spirit and filling me with healing energy. The light beings played a crucial role in my healing process. They worked alongside the neurosurgeons, channeling light through the surgeons' hands and into my body. This light illuminated my entire being, and I knew with absolute certainty that I would walk, run, and live a full life again. This collaboration between the divine and the medical was something I had never conceived of, and it left me in awe. It was the 1990s, a time when concepts like Reiki and angelic healing were not widely known or accepted, yet here I was, witnessing firsthand the miraculous interplay of spiritual and physical healing. As the surgery progressed, the monitor flatlined, emitting that infamous piercing beep that signifies death. I knew my body was dead, my back was open, and my hip was also cut open, as the surgeons were taking bone from my hip to repair my spine. The scene was gruesome, and I decided I did not want to watch the attempts to revive me. I left the operating room and found myself in the hallway, where I saw my stepdad buying a candy bar from a vending machine. This mundane detail would later be confirmed as true, providing a verifiable aspect to my out-of-body experience. Despite the assurances from the light beings that I would walk and run again, a part of me embraced the freedom of the spirit form. I contemplated not returning to my body, feeling an overwhelming sense of peace and detachment from my earthly life. The next phase of my near-death experience was the most transformative. I felt an incredible sense of oneness with everyone I had ever known. This profound connection made me realize the importance of kindness and the interconnectedness of all humanity. It became clear that our actions, no matter how small, have a ripple effect on the collective energy of humanity. I then found myself in a vast night sky filled with stars. There was no fear, only a profound sense of peace and wonder. In this cosmic expanse, I felt the presence of a higher intelligence approaching me. It was God. This divine presence showed me moments from my life, emphasizing those where I had been kind and in touch with divine love. I relived these moments with heightened awareness, understanding their true significance. I also saw my past judgments and superficial attitudes. At 22, I had been somewhat cliquish and judgmental, looking down on people who didn't fit my idea of success or worth. God showed me that these people, despite their differences, had beautiful hearts and souls. I felt a deep sense of shame for my past behavior and resolved to be more compassionate and less judgmental in the future. My journey continued to a place of indescribable beauty. I hovered above a landscape so vibrant and alive that it seemed untouched by any form of harm or death. The grass was a deep, lush green, and the air was filled with an energy of pure life. As I took in this scene, I began to receive messages that seemed both simple and profound. Love is all that matters, and be like a little child. These messages, though seemingly straightforward, carried a weight of truth that I had never fully grasped before. Initially, I felt a bit frustrated, thinking that I needed more than just these simple slogans. But as I reflected on them, I realized their deep significance. In this heavenly realm, I encountered my grandfather, who had passed away years earlier. His presence brought me immense peace. Our connection was based purely on love, and that love was the only thing that mattered in this place. I didn't remember him as the frail man who had succumbed to leukemia, but as a loving soul who had always been there for me. He asked me if I wanted to continue on, which meant moving further into the light of God. With a sense of exhilaration, I moved towards this light, which was more than just light. It was an embodiment of intelligence, magnetism, and an overwhelming sense of love. As I drew closer to this divine light, I felt an intense, all-encompassing love that surpassed anything I had ever known. It was like an atomic bomb of love, completely transforming my understanding of existence. I realized how much time we spend in our physical lives not loving ourselves, feeling anxious and disconnected from this divine love. But in this moment, I understood that we are all intrinsically connected to this immense love, and that it is our divine right to feel this bliss. Despite the pull of this divine love, I felt the prayers of people trying to bring me back to my physical body. Yet I was determined to merge with God, feeling that nothing on earth could compare to this experience. However, at some point, I was stopped. God's booming voice commanded me to look down, and I saw a river of life with people walking along its banks. Some were surrounded by darkness, while others were connected to the light of God. The darkness seemed to be a manifestation of fear, whereas the light represented a connection to divine love. God explained that my role was to work as a teacher, a mission I initially resisted. Having grown up poor, I had no desire to take on such a role, but God's gentle laughter and insistence made it clear that this was my path. With a sudden jolt, I was hurled back into my body. The transition was abrupt and disorienting. As I regained consciousness, I was overwhelmed by the weight of my experience. I had seen the divine, felt the ultimate love, and understood the interconnectedness of all life. This experience fundamentally changed me. I realized that our souls come to this world to learn and grow. We are like warriors embarking on a dramatic journey to understand and embrace love and kindness. Those of us who remember our divine connection have already achieved a significant victory. In the aftermath of my near-death experience, I found myself reflecting deeply on the lessons I had learned. I understood that we are here to love and support one another, to be kind and compassionate. This realization transformed my interactions with others. I became more empathetic, seeking to understand and connect with people on a deeper level. I no longer judged others based on superficial criteria, but looked for the goodness in their hearts. The experience also gave me a new perspective on death. I no longer feared it, knowing that it is simply a transition to another state of being. This understanding brought me immense peace. I began to share my story with others, hoping to convey the profound insights I had gained. Many people were skeptical, but I knew that my experience was real and that it held valuable lessons for everyone. As I continued to heal physically, I also embarked on a journey of spiritual growth. I studied various spiritual traditions, seeking to understand the nature of the divine love I had experienced. This quest for knowledge deepened my faith and enriched my life in countless ways. I found joy in simple acts of kindness, knowing that they had a ripple effect on the collective energy of humanity. In the years since my near-death experience, I have faced many challenges, but I have always held on to the lessons I learned. I know that love is the most powerful force in the universe and that we are all connected in a web of divine energy. This understanding has guided me through difficult times and helped me find meaning and purpose in my life. Reflecting on my journey, I am grateful for the experience that brought me so close to death. It opened my eyes to the deeper truths of existence and transformed my life in ways I could never have imagined. I now live each day with a sense of wonder and gratitude, knowing that we are all part of a divine plan and that love is the key to everything. In conclusion, my near-death experience taught me that life is a precious gift and we should cherish every moment. We are here to learn, grow, and love, and it is through these experiences that we come closer to the divine. By embracing kindness, compassion, and empathy, we can create a more loving and connected world. My journey has shown me that even in our darkest moments, there is always light and love to guide us, and it is this divine love that sustains us through all of life's challenges.